Thanks, Vishnu, for that talk. Really insightful on how business like Entei comes about, and it definitely did not sound like an easy road. And speaking of how businesses come about and easy roads, we have Magizhan Selvan, Max, with us to talk about the journey of Namma Yatri. He's the CEO of Namma Yatri and has over a decade of really prolific experience in the software industry with a brief but impactful stint in his family business. To quote him, Max is someone who loves being hands-on, be it coding or auto driving. It is evident that he is someone who is commendably driven. Please welcome Max on his talk about his journey of Namayatri. Thank you.
Good morning, all, and thanks Vishnu for the good introduction. And I'll stick to this place for, learning from the lessons, right? Cool. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you know about Namayatri? Because some of you I know are from different. Okay, almost all. Okay, I think I'll do the reverse. How many of you don't know about Namayatri? Okay, some of you. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's an app similar to Ola, Uber, Rapido in terms of functionality, but in terms of approach, it's very different. I'll talk to you about it. How many of you know that Namayatri is open source? Cool, that too many of you. Cool. I'm going to share the story of Namayatri. We aspire to be the Linux for mobility. We'll see how we can. See, despite a lot of investment, several $1 billion of investment and large incumbents, right? Mobility was not fully solved. This experience of driver coming to your place and saying, I'll cancel, why don't you directly pay me? Or you endlessly staying in an app for 30 to 40 minutes, waiting for a cab or an auto. All these experiences you will also relate to, right? With that experience, we in 2020 actually, we were just a small group of developers who had experience of building reference implementations to what is now popularly called digital public infrastructure or open protocols. We built this Beam app in 2016. For a year almost, it was the topmost app in UPI. It has been a catalyst to make UPI what it is today. We also built a reference app for credit called Gem Sahai. And there was an open protocol written by Dr. Pramod and Nandan and team for mobility called Beacon, based on which ONDC evolved later on. And it was an app running in Kochi, had about 1,000 rides a day. We just built the tech. The app was actually run by Beacon team. And in 2022, some of the auto drivers actually tried that app and they found that it is not working in Bangalore, and they somehow figured out it is Beacon. They reached out through Beacon. We were in Just Pay, so they reached out to us, and we were super kicked then because Bangalore, it is home ground. We thought, we could do end-to-end, not just build tech, right? That's when we bought a bunch of autos. Vimal, who is the founder of Just Pay, he started driving autos because building it for our own self is a easier thing to do. That's when you can experience the real pain points, understand what really needs to be solved, etc. Peer pressure. I also started driving auto. I would have done some 300 trips so far, multiple one-day trips, trying to do this, earn this 2,000 rupees that the drivers want to do. It's not been that easy, but gave us a lot of learnings. Initially what we thought as we'll have a lot of payment opportunity in mobility. After talking to drivers, learning, Kannada and talking to drivers, actually driving and all that, we understood that payments is not actually a pain point, especially here. Commission was a big pain. They charge 25 to 30% commission, and according to them, they're doing all the work. And maybe that's the reality. They're doing most of the work, right? Right from buying auto to driving to even, so we are spending money to recharge the app, also is what they were saying. And we chose not to have commission within the app, not to have payments within the app, though we are a payments company. And we pioneered the zero commission model. for which it was extremely important to lower the cost. It's a sustainable, low-cost model. What we are proud of is many other companies, the large incumbents, also pivoted to this model to grow, including Ola, Uber, Rapid. All of them are in this model, at least for three-wheelers in some of the cities. From here, where we want to go, we want to move everybody and everything that moves. We want to become like the UPI in India and Linux worldwide. But can we do it? Can some of us from Bangalore, from India, can we build something like this? One, we think if we ride on there's this thing called riding the wave, right? But even better if we ride the exponential trends. If we are able to ride on the exponential trends, that increases our chances a bit. You're seeing a bunch of exponential graphs. The first part is probably very clear to you, is about how software itself is exponentially growing, and being in software itself increases the chances. And it's not just software and tech, right? The thing in the bottom is from this book called Reinventing Organization. We're also seeing that the culture is becoming or evolving into more open and inclusive culture. Quick a minute about this. See, basically, this book also, there are a bunch of theories around, spiral dynamics, integral theory, etc., backing this. They've studied how culture has evolved over thousands of years. Right? It has been moving away from collective to individualistic kind of culture. More from a power-centric mafia, small kings kind of a culture to more process-driven, government, army, which is more hierarchical, etc. kind of culture, to corporates, which are more machine-like, where innovation, meritocracy, all of that is promoted, but then inequality increases in this culture. It is kind of evolving more into green, connected, family-like culture where people expect everything to be equal. People want everybody to get equality of opportunity, right? And some of the organizations are built more as steel organizations, which is even more inclusive, which is like a Russian doll, which can kind of accommodate people from different cultures, right? In some cases, some of the auto drivers could be in different cultures. We also work very closely with the government. So our goal is to build the steel organization which is more inclusive of all of these. See, and what is also giving us this confidence is the growth of UPI. We are learning quite a bit about how UPI has grown, which had about 0.1 million transactions a month in 2016, but now almost 500 million transactions a day, right? And a small part of Namay growth has also been similar. See, one part is riding the exponential trend. The other is fundamentally thinking about the business model itself from first principles, evaluating the business model and rethinking about it. So we took a fresh approach. Most of the companies were customer first. We felt that we have to be driver first. We went into the zero commission model I just talked about. And that kind of enabled this positive flywheel effect, right? Drivers have now earned about 840 crores without paying a penny of commission through Namay so far. And this has organically helped them grow. Drivers promoted among drivers. And not just that, and drivers also promoted among customers. They branded they kind of owned it. Namay also, the name also helped them own this application, right? And I think some of you would have been recommended by some of the drivers, right? And we are betting on this positive word of mouth and not spending so much on marketing. We already have about 75 lakh users and rating of 4.8 and 4.9. Maybe I'll play a small video that will give you a sense of how drivers take Namay, how they feel this is helpful to them, right? And this was an organically shot video.
ಜಾರಿ ಬೀಳದೆ ಮೆಲ್ನಡಿ, ನಾನು ನೀನೇ ಹೊಸ ಜೋಡಿ, ನಾನು ನೀನು ಜೋಡಿ.
ನಾವೇನು ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾತ್ರೆಯಿಂದ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾತ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹಾರೈಸ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾತ್ರೆನ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಸಿಕ್ಕೇ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾತ್ರೆನ ಬೆಳೆಸೋಣ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲು.
ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೂ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ನಮಗೂ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾತ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್.
Yeah, so actually the drivers are able to earn about 400 extra, which they were paying as commission, right? Or 1,000 extra if they're a cab driver in a day. So in terms of monetization, how we monetize, they do pay a subscription. What they paid as commission for a ride, they pay per day. For auto drivers, they pay about $25 a day. Right, and what was important was to reduce or make tech like an utility, right? Instead of tech being an intermediary, can tech be an enabler? For that, what was important was it had to be at utility pricing. From our experience of running UPI, we do about, in JustPay, we do about 100 million transactions a day. And at that scale, it has to be low cost. So some of the, when we started, it was about 43 rupees per ride, and now we've reduced the cost of running Namma to about this tech cost to less than ₹1 now. How we were able to do that? We embraced OpenStreetMaps. Good part of the experience was is built using OpenStreetMaps, especially connecting the customer and the driver. When you search, there's this API called Distance Matrix that was done from OpenStreetMaps. Good thing is Google also reduced the price now. Some of the Google Maps API is also 90% down in cost, especially if you're a part of ONDC. We also run, some of the innovative architecture and the learnings from UPI also help reduce this cost. For instance, we don't use database at all. We write most of the primary write is Redis only, and we later drain to database, right? That has helped reduce a lot of cost, and we use software like Rust, with which we're able to code high performance, and that helped. Not just tech cost, even marketing, we've kept it extremely low. So far, there has been no offers to customers, no incentives to drivers. It's an utility. People want to travel from place A to B, and so they're downloading and installing. All of this without compromising an experience. So we're a part of ONDC. We for a long time, about 50 to 65% of ONDC transactions were from mobility, and which is primarily from Namay. And the data is also open. You can try looking at this dashboard, namayatri.in/open. Inspired from COVID dashboards, we've kind of put both real-time and all-time information of our rides and the conversion funnel and all of that. The code is also open source. This is a quick view of the tech stack. We use OpenStreetMaps, code is in GitHub. Some of the tech stack is niche, probably not very popular here. For a long time in JustPay, we've been using Haskell. Helped us write code like English, code like math equations. There are folks here who would sculpt code, then write code. And we've also started using Rust, relatively more popular among the community. So you can set up very easily. It is all Nixified, one-click setup. The front end, in fact, is in a dialect of Haskell called PureScript, but we're moving from PureScript to React Rescript soon. In a couple of months, I think the entire app will be in React and Rescript, which will enable more of you to contribute. See, open not just in terms of code and data, even in terms of go-to-market, we've been open. This is an example of how government is running this app. It's more localized, called Yatri in West Bengal, Calcutta. It's called Yatri in Hyderabad. We're open to multiple brands, localized to the area and local themes, and government is running this. They've kind of in the first week replaced the airport, railway station, and all of this pickup zones. And they're growing this, like the commissioners of Siliguri, Asansol, Durgapur, etc. They're promoting it in their own cities. And we're open to having those conversations with multiple other governments as well. Kerala soon, the government wants to take up Namma Yatri and run it. Right, that's one part of the story. The other part of exciting story is, say, a place like Tumkur. A driver named Naveen, he kind of owned it up, and their community there was no Ola Uber there. There was no other app. In Tumkur, they do about 1,500 rides a day, and this has been growing exponentially. They're saying they'll do 50,000 rides a day, throughout Tumkur and the nearby towns. Right? We spent almost nothing here except for giving away some branding materials. We didn't spend much. And this is a potential area where we think we can grow across multiple cities in India and probably outside India too. There are possibly 1,000 such Tumkurs, right? And being open, there are also multiple other projects and multiple other organizations that we're working with. This is about this Women EV initiative. We do end-to-end training, and some of the stories these women share is very interesting. Once I booked, and one of the women from the Mahila Shakti initiative, she actually came to pick me up, and she was saying I used to earn 2,000 a month by being a housemaid in one of the homes, right? And now I'm able to earn this in 1 or 2 days, and it actually gives me a lot of freedom. I can earn whenever I want. Some of them have. This is actually very touching and moving initiative. We've already kind of bought some 100 autos in lease, so that this can help women to transition from their current career to driving auto, right? And about 15 of them own EV autos now. And we want to grow this to 1,000 women drivers soon. There's also this, there's also this Purple Rides as an initiative in Namma Yatri. People with disability can book rides. One is making the app accessible. The other is training on the other side to the drivers. And when you get a person with disability, how can you assist that particular person, right? We play short videos. There are courses that the drivers can take. And the app also kind of gets customized according to the person who's using. If, for instance, if a person has hearing disability, the call is disabled, and we kind of nudge the driver to chat with the customer. This is a picture of drivers planting trees in Tumkur. There are some 100+ trees they're maintaining, and the drivers are also looking at how can people change perception of what driver means to them, right? Right now, immediately what occurs to you if you talk about an auto driver or cab driver probably is not what they really are. So. So this is one such initiative. They want to scale this across multiple cities. We're also open to more initiatives on sustainability, like active mobility, cycling, tourism, promoting EV, shared mobility, etc. What we kind of learned is it's not possible to, or it is important to kind of engage with government, business, and community to accomplish what we are set to accomplish. And Namma Yatri has always been a good, we're trying to get the best out of all of these three, right? Happy drivers, customers, and harmonious community. And we're looking at scaling empathy through tech. Support of government is important, especially in terms of enhancing safety, planning traffic, mainly in terms of integrating public transport. Support from investors in business, etc., is important to innovate and build next-gen tech. This is a small example of what drivers were taking an oath. Maybe you can have a look at it. Yeah, this is see, one is directly connecting customers with drivers through tech. The other is really enhancing not just the app experience but also the end-to-end experience, right? If the drivers can, we are trying as much as possible, and the driver community also are they're helping in terms of delivering the Sakat service and keeping the app safe. And if customers also look at them as people, as professionals, or who are working day in, day out, I think good part of the problem will be solved. This problem doesn't seem to be only India specific. It's also global. We've been getting some inbound requests from multiple cities in the globe. We want to keep the app ready for the globe and kind of garner support from driver unions, from government, from cities, etc. Right? And we're open for people to take it up and run it in other parts of the globe as well. These are some of the interesting problems that I think some of you folks can contribute to. Our next big bet is to solve for public transport. In Bangalore, actually the number of vehicles are probably equal to or more than the number of people in the city. Unless we embrace public transport, unless we do batching, etc., efficiency is very difficult. So our next big bet is on multimodal. We won a tender with Kumta, which is a Chennai Urban Metro Transport Authority. We have an MOU with BMRCL to solve for last mile mobility. So we have the support from multiple government organizations. Now it is up to us to kind of reimagine public transport experience, right? Can we make public transport as good an experience as driving or taking an auto or Namay Yatri cab, or etc. Right? Can there be an hop and hop out experience? Can the phone be used as like a metro card? Can you just scan in, scan out? And can we also nudge a lot of people who don't use public transport that in your regular route there is actually a much cheaper, a much better experience. For instance, from airport, if you take any bus without taking time to decide, just take any bus, get down at ST Mall and go to your place. The price is up actually 50% cheaper, and you could go almost at the same time to your place. So kind of nudging these options in terms of discovery, and for repeat experience, making it really good is something that we're looking at, and that's an area that I think many of you can contribute. The other is scaling Namma Yatri in tier 2, tier 3 cities, your own towns and cities. We've seen there has been interest from multiple people. One, it's open source, you can take it and run it. The other, you can run it through our infra. I think the cost also will be kept as low as possible, so we can figure out various models in which you can take this and run. The other is to enhance the map experience itself, kind of adding turn restrictions and enhance a road that doesn't exist in OpenStreetMaps can get added. So that's an area where people can contribute. The other thing that we also understood is drivers are more voice and local language first than text first. We've been working with Selvan and a few other organizations to see how we can make the app more voice friendly and local language friendly to drivers. In fact, they use these WhatsApp Telegram groups in which ride requests keep coming, and they find that much more convenient than actually using apps. So we're looking at changing the interface for driver app more like voice and local language friendly. The other thing is to also go global. In fact, we've been, that I talked a little earlier, we've also been designing some of these buggy-like share autos because especially to solve for last mile mobility, we think interim size vehicle, which is not just 3 but maybe takes 10 to 14 people is really needed. Some of the companies actually designed this. We are willing to open source these designs, and if there are EV manufacturers who can actually build this, right, we can work in collaboration and build solutions for such kind of vehicles also. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, hi, that was really informative. Thank you for that. I just wanted to know if you can comment on the recent feature that was launched on Namma Yatri, which is the tip system. A little bit about that. If you could tell us the thought process behind that.
Actually, this whole pricing is a complex problem to solve, right? Tips is one of the ways in which you can see. We still go by government guidelines and what government prescribed as pricing, but a lot of times all this pricing is distance based only, nothing on time. But in Bangalore, in peak time, distance doesn't matter. Actually, time matters, right? If you have to say travel in Balandur Road for 4 kilometers in a peak time, it's going to take you not 10-15 minutes. It's going to take you a lot of time. So just to solve for that, we've kind of given a bounded flexibility where users can add something additional as a tip. Because anyway, with that government pricing, it is not sustainable for drivers. So that was the idea. Initially, we were thinking more like in-drive kind of experience where you could negotiate, etc. But then we thought, that much flexibility is probably not needed. You can go with the government guided prices, but in terms of very specific scenarios like this peak time in a high traffic area, etc., customers can add some tip. Driver also can add some additional. So there is some bounded flexibility, which is kind of limited, not unlimited. You're audible, not through the speakers, but yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, am I audible through the speakers now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my one question is, in the Explore Bangalore with Us section, how is it done? Like through an algorithm or what?
Oh, it's just a configuration. We've added IndiaFOSS recently.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I just installed Namma 3 app this morning to come here, sure. And I saw IndiaFOSS. The first thing as soon as I installed it, I saw it. Yeah.
It's just a static configuration.
Okay. And my next question is, how do you establish the app? Like in Bangalore, I guess it's pretty established. So when you move on to new cities, how do you establish? Is there any like USP and all that you can bring in so that people choose it over like other more well-known similar like platforms like Ola and Uber?
Good question. This question we've been asking ourselves also more. As much as it is popular in Bangalore, it is not popular in other cities, right? One, drivers like it. Drivers actually love it because of the cost savings they get, because of the new model. In some of the categories like 3-wheelers, other apps have also gone to zero commission, but then in cabs, for instance, only Rapido has gone kind of zero commission. So one, we are happy that we disrupted. See, drivers are bringing in customers. That is one, and it is open source. I think it's actually a challenge to not run offers and still promote. We're betting more on PR, government promoting it, word of mouth from happening. I think more of you have to talk about it. I don't know, it's an utility, right? Like people, and because drivers love it and drivers give good customer service, you will also find the difference and start using this app is the bet that we're taking. Do I have time for more questions?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. One more.
Last question.
Sure.
Hello. So first of all, thanks for making such a wonderful app, because if it was not for this app, I would have missed the train coming from Chennai to Bangalore last night. Now coming to my question, you mentioned that you guys work on a architecture that does not rely on databases. So can you please expand on that?
Sure. See, this we kind of solve this in JustPay, right? In JustPay, we have these spiky traffic. Gaming companies, especially just before IPL, they'll have 2000x traffic, and you'll have to provision your database to that extent or slightly more, and it's not that elastic. And obviously, database becomes your most costliest infra component in your system. So there, instead of relying on database, we kind of see a lot of these are transactional. You just need this data for next 30 minutes or so. So we use Redis. We write in Redis. We also log so that the reliability of data is there, and only reads are from database. That too, only domain reads, right? Rest of the transactional writes and reads are from Redis. So we kind of borrowed the same architecture and we use it in Yatri also.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks. See, I'll be around. We also have a booth along with JustPay. So if there are any more questions, I can answer outside. Thanks.